Thank you. Unique value proposition. It's a term used in business to describe the distinct qualities that sets a company apart from its competitors. But what about you? What distinct qualities do you possess that set you apart from others? This is the question that we need to be asking, but it's also the question that many people are afraid to answer. See, when we're young, we embrace our individuality without much hesitation. At least I did. But as we all get older, we begin to discover that we live in a world where although differences are sometimes praised, they're more often outcasted. This has taught people to prohibit themselves from defining their seats at the table, from unlocking their potential, because they're too afraid to realize what is within them that makes them different. Don't be one of those people. What makes you different makes you unique. And what makes you unique makes you valuable. Each and every one of us are born with unique gifts, different gifts that we are meant to bring to the table. When those gifts are used, they form the key to unlocking our unlimited potential. That key is called your unique value. Your unique value has the ability to open your world to incredible opportunities and have a powerful effect on your personal life, professional life, and if used to its fullest capability, the lives of others. This is what I call the UV effect, and it starts with the willingness to embrace what makes you different. The most successful people are the ones that have learned to be confident in their uniqueness and use it as the backbone for not just their work, but for everything that they do. They are innovators, not imitators, because they pull from the most distinct aspects of themselves, their unique value. Today, I want to help you to define your own unique value, that thing that sets you apart from others, in only 3 steps. Identify, define, and embrace. When I was 9 years old, I started a high-end jewelry company where I designed and I made everything that I sold, and I still run that business to this day. I started it because I have loved making jewelry ever since I was 7 years old. It was something that felt like I was born to do, even back then, being so young. But making jewelry is not my unique value. It's what I call an external ability. These are talents, gifts, or it's more like skills that we possess and that we're passionate about using. They're things like cooking, teaching, or entertaining. The main difference between your external abilities and your unique value is that your external abilities are actually quite limited, while your unique value is limitless. I want you to think about this. What if one day you woke up and you were unable to use that skill, that talent, that external ability that gave you the most joy to use in your life? What would you do? Do you think that there's anything else in the world that you could do that would give you that much joy? Well, there is. You're just not going to find it in any one external ability. How many of you have ever seen the movie Doctor Strange? Anybody? All right, we got a few hands. Well, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I will say that a guy in this movie, he lost an external ability that he felt like he could not live without. But he was still able somehow to find new opportunities, new outlets that gave him purpose. How? Well, by losing that prized external ability, he was forced to realize what it was within him that really made him valuable. By doing that unlocked his ability to grow personally and professionally. In that case, it meant saving the world. But when you hear this story, When you hear, if you watch that movie, when you think about this scenario, maybe even you losing something of yours, your own external ability, I want you to ask yourself this. Do you really have to wait to lose something in order to become conscious of what you've been capable of all along? Do you really have to wait to lose? The reason why we are so passionate about our external abilities are because they are the outlets for using what the real key of our unique value is. Our innate gifts, our internal gifts. Our internal gifts are these things that are within us, these things that we're born with. We don't need to learn about it. We don't need to be taught. It's within us. It is innate. I want you to look at this list of internal gifts. I want you to kind of point out which ones seem like they fit with you. Point as many as you think, works for you. And as you look at this list, you might be a little surprised about how many of these actually relate to you. Things like confidence and focus, maybe self-awareness, these things. But you also might be surprised while reading this that these words, these characteristics, are actually gifts at all. The reason why it might surprise you is because these things, they might just come so naturally to you that you don't realize how valuable they actually are, how unique they really are for many people to have. But that's kind of the downfall. Because these things come so naturally to us, we often don't realize that we're using them. They become hidden in this place called our subconscious. This place that's filled with ideas and views that we don't really recognize until it's pointed out to us or it's discovered on our own. But that's our job right there, to discover it, to identify it. Because, in all honesty, these internal gifts are the reason why you are so good at doing the things that you are so passionate about. It's that backbone, it's that drive. That's why you do those things, because you're good at it, because you love it, because it's within you, and it has always been within you. But these internal gifts, these innate gifts, are not your unique value either. So just stay with me. In order to figure out your unique value, you have to define what value you create. Now, when I say the word value, I'm not talking about the commodity, the physical commodity you provide, like a product or a service, but rather, what impact do you make? So when you are doing that external ability, using that external ability, doing that thing that you're passionate about doing, do you help someone to achieve something? Do you solve a problem? Do you better their lives in some way? If so, that impact is your value, and it is a direct result of utilizing your internal gifts. So their value and your internal gifts, when used together, form your unique value, and your unique value is wielded through your external abilities. So this is kind of the formula here. So once you're able to identify your internal gifts and identify the impact that you make, you can then define your unique value by configuring a concise statement that allows you to fully understand and comprehend and to verbally explain it to other people, to define it for others as well. So this definition should sound like this. My unique value is using my internal gifts to make an impact. That's basically the summation of it all. But this can be difficult to define for yourself. I know it definitely was for me, and it can take time. It's not supposed to be done one and done kind of thing. But to give you some help, I'll give you an example of my own unique value. This is what I've defined my unique value to be so far. For some reason, it's not showing up, but my unique value is creating ways to represent my personal possibilities in order to inspire others to realize their own distinct capabilities. So what does that mean? How did I get there? Well, The key is looking back. Look back at what you've done, what you love to do. Think about the past. I started a business at 9 years old. Created jewelry that was very unique for someone my age to be creating. I started a business at a time where young entrepreneurship really wasn't that popular. I then went on to write a #1 best-selling book at 11 years old. Spoke on a TEDx stage at 13. I became an international speaker and co-founded a mentoring institute for young entrepreneurs at 14 years old. And now I'm 17, and I'm using different platforms like my podcast, quick shout out, UV Effect podcast, to represent new messages and new ideas that I want to share to the world. Through this, I've been able to be recognized by incredible people, by McDonald's, by former First Lady Michelle Obama, and to be able to impact people around the world. They are inspired to start their own businesses. I've gotten messages from all over about what they're doing now just because of hearing my story. Someone here that I spoke to, their daughter 7 years ago was here, and she remembered me from that time. And that just shocks me. I didn't even know that until this day, and that's amazing to me. But I realized that everything that I've been able to accomplish, every person that I've been able to touch, is a direct result of staying confidently true to my unique value, to what makes me unique. Even though back then I didn't know what that was, but I was able to tap into my potential because I realized that potential, and you should realize this too, that your potential is rooted within your unique value, and your unique value is rooted within you. So now it's your job to define, to figure out what it is within you specifically that you are capable of doing, honing in on that thing and putting it in every aspect of your life so that you can impact people and so that you can impact the world. Now finally, this is the last step to developing your unique value, to embrace. Each and every one of us are born to be different. This is the truth no matter how deep conformity has been ingrained into this society. Because of these differences, we are called and capable of creating change. I believe that the greatest potential of a human being is measured by the amount of change he or she can produce. And in order to discover your unique value, you can't just define it, you have to embrace it. In order to embrace it, you must become conscious of the potential for change you can make in your life and the lives of others. People are remembered for what they create, not for what they conform to. So when you use your unique value as the main tool for affecting change, oh, by the way, I meant to add this, but this is actually the key, really, to being able to define your seat at the table. By using your unique value to affect change, by creating results in the world that you want to see in your life and in the world in its entirety. By doing all of this, this is the way that you will define your seat at the table. By boldly changing the way that you take your seat. And the things that you create will distinguish you from others time and time again. Your unique value, what makes you distinct, what makes you unique, what makes you valuable is what will set you apart from others. Don't focus on competition. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Don't try and change your visions and missions just to stay ahead of the curve because you miss out on opportunities to create distinct value that lasts. So as you work to define your unique value, remember this. It is the thing that no one can do exactly how you do. Work to implement your unique value in every aspect of your life. Work to use your unique value in your own unique way for your own unique vision. By doing this, you'll be able to achieve things that you never expected, achieve things that you've always wanted, and to impact people in ways that you could have never imagined. This is the key to unlocking your unlimited potential, and this is the key to making change in the world that's distinct to you. This is my challenge for you today and for every day. And it is how you will define your seat at the table. Thank you.